Hi students, we're going to do another lesson here. I'm getting a lot of requests from people saying, why don't you do Zoom? Why don't you do internet lessons? And my response is that if you print up your own images, you can have hundreds of hours of practice learning how to do what I've shown you with my YouTube lessons. So here are some of my handouts that my regular students use. Some of these I paint in my YouTube lessons. So I want to talk a little bit about this process. So I wrote this down. One thing I have here, if you can read this, I started off by saying if you practice my YouTube lessons, there are hundreds of hours of practice you can do trying to learn what I am teaching. Rules for the beginners following my YouTube lessons. Number one, use tubes of paint, not pan paints, not hard paint. I'm finding out a lot of you are using hard paint and you wonder how my colors can get so dark. So again, here is my palette, and notice how much paint I have in my palette here. And my paint also is not super clean and stuff like that, but yeah, I just pile it in there. Look at that green, how much so this is what I use. I use tubes of paint, not pans, and when I want to put paint down here, I take the cap off, and if I want to, before I start painting, I always squirt fresh paint out. This is cerulean blue here. I'm going to squirt that out there, and look at that paint. There's plenty of it there. That's nice, gooey, soft paint. That's what you need to, if you want to do it, I'm showing you in my lessons, that's what you need to do. Tubes of paint, please, not pans. It's be very hard. You can paint with pans, but you're going to have much lighter watercolors usually. So that's that. Step one. Step two is squirt out lots of paint. I said that. Do not paint by looking at your device, your iPhone, your smartphone, etc. I see so many people are here that they take their iPad here, and they'll look at YouTube lessons. They'll see this on my YouTube lesson, and they try to draw it by looking at that, or they have their own photograph they have, and they you just can't see it. So if you look at photographs, if I try to paint, this is a photograph I took. If I try to paint that by looking at it like that, that's so hard to do for especially the beginners. So no painting from iPads, iPhones. We have to print out our image. So it says here, no painting by looking at your device unless you're an advanced painter, or iPad or smartphone doesn't work. Do not try to copy the image I'm painting in my YouTube lesson. Number 4 here, do not try to, and this happens so often, do not try to copy the image I'm painting in my YouTube lesson. The image is too poor quality. This simply doesn't work. I have so many people email me. That's what they're trying to do. No, that doesn't work. Find a suitable or similar subject that you see me painting in my lesson, and go to Google search or Google Images and type in what it is you want to see. So let's show how this works. So this is my iPad, but you get on your iPad, and let's go here, and we go to what we have here, Google Images. Now, if you don't know what that is, right up here it says Google, and here it says Images. See right there? Click on Images, not that. So then once you go to Google Images, or whatever your search engine is, now you type in, I'm going to type in white box, black background. Well, look what happens here. All these pages are white boxes, and look what I can find here. Here's something that will work with one of my lessons that I have on YouTube. You enlarge it like this, and then you print that out, print it out, so it's printed out like this. So it's paper. It's not on an image. It has to be like this. You print that up, and now we have a subject, and you have to trace that out. You can go type in simple black and white landscape. That's what that says there. Look at all these images here. Look what we have here. Here's a simple black and white image. So you enlarge that, print that up, and that is something I do in one of my lessons. So you make your own subject matter. We could type, here's another one. Look at that simple subject there. You could do that one right there. Type in high contrast face. It says high contrast face. And look at all these faces here. I can come in here, and if I print that out, man, that's pretty easy to paint. A beginner could handle that, but you have to trace it. Or you could go to this guy here. And some of you are painting, the black guy did numbers, lesson 16. And they try to actually paint that. No, we have to find your own image, print this up, so we have a nice printed up image like this, not on the your smart device. Here's eyes. Look at, I typed in eye. I simply type in eye. Look at all those eyes. Those are potential paintings. And then you enlarge one. Here's an eye right here. You print that up, make a print of it, rather than looking at your phone or your device, and then we're ready to go. So that's huge. So many people are working from their phones and their devices. That simply is not going to work. So that's a little bit on find a suitable or similar subject by searching online using Google search, Google Images, type in white box, black background, or simple black and white, landscape or eye, high contrast. You can also type in stencil. That also will give you simple images, S-T-E-N-C-I-L, stencil. The image you find must be printed to the size you desire to do your painting. So it has to be printed. So these, the print needs to be the size we're going to do our painting. This is the size we do our painting. Here's another one I find. I use these in my lessons. This is the size. We trace this out, and they're ready to go. Here's another one. We trace this out, and we're ready to go. Here's another one. My students need these. They have to learn how to trace these. So how do you trace it? Well, one way you can trace it is we can go here. I'm going to have to move my phone first. Let's do this first. Here is tracing. So let's say you printed this out. You get extra points for that. You actually printed it out. You have plenty of paint in your palette. It's soft and gooey. You don't have hard paint. Now you tape your image onto your piece of paper like that. See that? It's just hinged on there like that, so it can flip up and down. Then we take tracing paper or transfer paper like this. This, we're going to, shiny side goes down. You can get carbon paper, graphite paper, many different things can be used. And you tape that down like that. Then you take a pencil like this here. I usually don't like to put pencil line. I use a mechanical pencil. I press in get rid of we don't want to put pencil lines all over this. And we draw out our image here. Take your time, and you trace that image out like this, and take your time and go down here like this. And I'm doing this too fast, but we'll see how this works. And you come down here like this, and voila, look what you have. There will be an accurate drawing, and then we do our painting of this on top of that. So if you're a beginner, all of my beginners need to learn how to do that. Now there's another way to trace. You can take your image here, and you can put your image actually on a piece of glass. Here I have a piece of glass, and I can put my image on the glass like this. I put my watercolor paper over the top of this, and then I can take a bright lamp. See what I have here? This is a shiny lamp here, and I put that lamp underneath my piece of glass, and now I can simply trace that. If the paper is attached and taped, and the paper goes over the image, you go like that, and you put a bright spotlight like this underneath, or you can use a bright window, and you put that underneath like that, and you can trace it like that. So that's some ways you could do that. So students, that's what this lesson is about. Again, one more time, I wrote this out here. If you want to follow my YouTube lessons, there's hundreds of hours of practice that can be done without me having to give Zoom lessons or internet lessons, and my YouTube lessons are free. You would have to pay to get lessons from me. So, number one, use tubes of paint, not pan. That's huge. Squirt out lots of paint. Do not paint by looking at your device, your phone, your iPad. Do not copy the image I'm painting on YouTube, because that image is too poor quality and it's moving. Find suitable or similar subjects by searching online. I showed you how to do that. The image you find must be printed. If you don't have a printer, email it or text it to somebody who has a printer, have them print it up for you, and then have them mail you or go to a print shop and have them make prints of it. And then trace the image. Don't try to draw it freehand unless you're a pretty advanced student. Students, that is the lesson for today. So I hope that helps. Bye-bye.